guys, welcome back to another segment on Corner Flag Talk. We're always glad to have you guys here. Some quick housekeeping. If you haven't yet, please make sure and subscribe. I was supposed to say this a very long time ago, but we changed some settings on the YouTube. And if you guys could unsubscribe and subscribe back, you'll be able to get proper notifications from us. I'm here with the team. We're going to do the top 10 strikers of the 2010s. So we are talking about from 2010 to 2019. And where the strikers rank. There are obviously some really exciting names in there, so we really are getting ready to get into it. Yuan was here from the last time we did top 10. Yuan, was he good, bro?
Yeah, they're ready to talk about some strikers.
Yeah, man. Tupin, somewhat a regular dog. I'll come in the studio. Was it good, my guy?
Thank God for the while.
I'm mad. First time in the studio, bro. First time we get you on camera. What an honor. How things going?
All good for the while.
All right, cool. So, for those who don't know, the rules of the top 10 is that each one of us submitted our top 10 list for the topic in question previously to the show. Then somebody, a third party manages to put together the list for us, and then we go through it piece by piece. Starting from 10, go up. And then afterwards, we can discuss the honorable mentions for the players who did not make it into the top 10. So first off, we have our 10th player on screen for you guys now. And that's it. At number 10, we have Romelu Lukaku, a player that a lot of us know. A lot of us have seen him score against. And for some of us, even played for our teams. I know he's back in the Premier League with Chelsea, being their record signing ever. And so, therefore, I feel like there's no better place to start than with Tupin. Romelu Lukaku, bro. Not necessarily the best of times he had in Manchester, but he makes the top 10 strikers of the 2010s. Are you surprised by that? You know, coming in only at 10, or do you feel like he probably shouldn't have made the top 10?
I don't think he should have made the top 10.
Ooh, I like that. Let's get hot off the block.
Just because of, I think, he was really unsuccessful at United. He wasn't able to do what United signed him to do. I mean,
that's all right. Don't worry, dog.
I mean, the year before that, he had a great season with Everton, and before that, he had a great time with West Brom as well. But he really was a failure at United. I mean, he managed to rebound his career at Inter. He changed as a player. He's a better player now, but I still don't think, he's one of the top 10 strikers of the 2010s.
Yeah, fair enough. Matt, do you have anything to say about it?
I mean, he's a goal machine. He's a monster.
Right.
I would put him in my top 10.
So, therefore, you all think that he says that he shouldn't be in his top 10. I will also say that he was not in my top 10 either. And what factored into mind was that he had these great records playing for West Brom and then playing for Everton, but he didn't really achieve anything in 2010s. His first trophy came after that, and now, yes, he's regarded one of the best strikers in the world. But I felt like talking about the cream of the crop of that decade, you kind of need some achievements, and that's why I didn't put him. You want?
Yeah, well, for me, he was a late addition too, as you remember. But yeah, I think looking back on it, the man put up a lot of numbers. Obviously, he played for West Brom Everton, so I think he's one of the fastest to 100 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah. I think he officially broke Drogba record when he scored against Arsenal, actually.
Of course, that's poetic. But I mean, I think a lot of talent. I wouldn't really fight you down if you didn't say he was a top 10 striker. But for me, put him in the list just because of the sheer numbers, really.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's get it into number 9. I also did have this player on my list. Maybe I was quite off when it comes to it. But number 9 is Mr. Golaso Higuain. Somebody that a lot of Argentina fans really love over the years. He had some time in the Premier League, very short, had success. Majority in Italy as well as his spending time in Real Madrid, and now is spending his time in Inter Miami. You had Higuain in your side, I believe. Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Do you think that there's a reason that for somebody who actually holds the amount of records that he has, because he has like the most goals ever in a Serie A season, he has won trophies as Juventus, won trophies with Real Madrid, as well as reached 3 different finals with Argentina. Is it surprising that he is this low down the list?
No, I think I will. Obviously, he deserves a lot of respect. He's one of the top 10 goal scorers for the decade, I believe, outside of the Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo.
Yeah,
we're leaving those three out. But I just think that they have a lot of other talented players they might have placed above him, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But as I say, I think he might go well under the radar, just because of certain moments that might have happened. So I can understand why he's placed that low down the list.
To play anything to say about that, he didn't make your list. Do you feel anyhow about it, or you feel it's still justified?
I think he's a justifiable pick. The 36 goal season he had with Napoli.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was spectacular.
Yeah.
But personally, just a bias for me, I guess.
No problem at all. Speaking of bias, somebody support Argentina as a national team, bro. Any
Yeah.
thoughts about them?
I mean, I was gonna exclude him because of his Argentina exploits, but
No bias at all.
he put up some good numbers. He pretty little when he ready.
Yeah.
There's no often.
It's just a question of when he's be ready
Yeah.
now, boy. All right.
Yeah.
I like what
actually.
pace we moving on. Let me see if we can keep it going on this. Gonna go into number 8. And at number 8, we have somebody who actually did make my list finally. Is Radamel Falcao. Look, at his peak, I think he was demonically good. At Atletico, he was fantastic. He had a really bad spell when he came to England, both with Manchester United and with Chelsea, with 1 goal for each club, I believe it was. And really refound himself late on in his Monaco career. People forget how good he was for Porto. Again, at Atletico Madrid, he was one of the best strikers. At certain points, he was even voted best striker. He was making the FIFA Pro 11, I believe, in 2013 or 2012. I could be mistaken. But yeah, brilliant striker. As somebody who would have seen him a lot, being a La Liga fan, Matt, we had to say about Radamel Falcao.
I mean, completely justified. He was up there, numbers with Messi and Ronaldo at the time in La Liga. Even ended the Real Madrid streak against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Destroying Real Madrid multiple times. And I mean, despite his stint in the Premier League, he came back with Monaco and justified even more that he's still capable in the later 2010s.
And what's good about him is that, look, everybody's talking about the French League however they want to. I don't necessarily stand that, right? But for a team to not win, for a team to beat PSG to win the league, I think deserves a lot of respect in that league. When you consider that no other team has the resources and a lot of kind of stars have to align for them to go on to win the league. And obviously, we are now a couple of years on the line and we are seeing that, yes, they had talented players that could have sustained their success. Players like Mbappe, players like Bernardo Silva. But there are a lot of players that dropped off. And when you saw how much he helped be a talisman, both just in the league and even in the UCL where they shocked Man City and stuff like that, he really may not have the most continuous success, but really has shown his caliber across the years. Tupin?
I think it's a justifiable pick as well. He wasn't in mine, but at his peak, he was one of the most feared strikers in Europe.
Yeah. I think feared is the right word, though. Like, he was literally scary, bro. Like, how good he was. And, like, people would talk about at that time, like, is it even possible for Atletico Madrid to pick up a bad striker? Because it was Aguero, it was Torres, and it was Aguero, then it was Falcao, then it was Diego Costa. It was, like, one after the next of just being ridiculously good.
Yeah, I think he wasn't in my list either. Maybe that's just my Premier League bias talking. But he had some really standout moments and obviously put up a lot of numbers. So, again, a justifiable pick. Just, again, the kind of crop we have to pick from, it's really hard to exclude some players, but he didn't make my cut.
You're very right. So, I think now, bear in mind, I am saying this, and this is for conversation for next day. I don't actually care for the Ballon d'Or and this voting base awards that much because a lot of bias goes into it, right? But for him to make the FIFA Pro 11 in an era of where, in that time, Van Persie was still excellent, a time where Rooney was excellent, Zlatan, Suarez, Lewandowski, all these players, though, it speaks to where he was at his peak, demolishing Chelsea in the Super Cup final. A brilliant game, So, yeah, going into the next pick after that now. All right, and 7 on our list is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Who knew Arsenal striker would actually make this list, dog? Look, I think he's a brilliant player. I think that he is limited in some aspects of his game, but when it comes to goal scoring, he is undeniably great. For those who don't actually know the 2010s, dog, he was only outscored by Zlatan, Lewandowski, Messi, Ronaldo, and I believe Suarez. And to say that he's up there with those types of players, despite playing for clubs like Dortmund, clubs like Arsenal, clubs like Saint Etienne that aren't actually associated with competing in the Champions League and for their league titles and stuff like that, speaks to the caliber of player he is. He has 1 goal and boots over players like Aguero, players like Lewandowski, and it speaks to how predatory he is. And in a lot of ways, I feel very privileged to have him at my club when we are definitely not at a place where we should be having a player of that caliber. He's managed to score against Man United a few times now, so let Turpin go next song. Turpin, any thoughts on him?
I think the fact that he was able to rival Lewandowski in the Bundesliga says a lot.
Yeah.
And also, I think the form he had when he first came to Arsenal, he just took the league by storm.
Yeah.
You don't see much players come into the Premier League and do that, and I think he had a respect for that.
And especially, there's a talk that about like Bundesliga players find it hard to transfer across, and there's a lot of examples of that. Like Schiller, Holby, Sane is actually an exception. Keita, a lot of players struggle to adapt to the Premier.
A lot of Dortmund players struggle.
Yeah, and Kagawa, Mkhitaryan, and all these guys, and he came in and across. So he came in halfway through the season. He came in and scored 12 goals in half of a season.
And you don't normally see that from January signing.
Yeah, you don't at all. And then when you also consider the fact, like for those who just don't know, is that Arsenal more or less from like February, March, they had stopped playing their first team in the Prem. Because at that point the league was dead. We was going to finish 5th anyway. And we put all our eggs into the Champions League. So men like Ramsey and Ozil and these guys, they wasn't playing in the league. He was playing with the backup team though, and was scoring though, at an insane rate. He had a real iconic game against Liverpool in the Europa League, if I remember right, dog.
They lost.
Yeah, they lost, but I mean, gosh.
Yeah, well, I think again, Aubameyang is a player. Even though when you play in Arsenal, you kind of have to watch him side eye, even though you might not play Arsenal as much as I used to. But he's a raw numbers guy. He's one of the best poachers of our generation for sure.
Yeah.
As you said, his overall play limited, but that doesn't really matter when you're Aubameyang. When you have a skill set, so he can just get into that box late. Whether it be from the wing even, because he's coming from the wide positions and get goals. But yeah, raw numbers, you can't fight him. No, as you said, the point I was going to make is how high he really is on that top scoring list now.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything needs to be justified there. He rivaled Salah and Mane, tied with them freeway. I think on season he won the league for goals.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Was it season before that? I don't know. Yeah, but that really speaks for itself. Every league he's played in has really gotten the numbers. He's been playing with different levels of players. And even now, you still see it for Arsenal against Tottenham the other day. Just running straight through.
And for what it's worth, though, he have moments where he has managed to be clutch, though. Like in the FA Cup that we won. He scored twice in both the finals and semi-finals.
I think as well, the consistency is over a long period of time. He really putting up numbers. So.
Yeah, I just wish he had some blasted help in his team, dog. Matt, anything to say about him?
I mean, he was in my top 10 in numbers. Speak for
Hey, I like that.
Numbers going to be the theme of today.
yeah, that's the thing. The strikers we talk about any day, right? All right, guys, we're going to go into pick number 5. Is Edison Cavani. I feel like now we can finally get Turbin talking a little bit more positive. Obviously, he's been having what I think has been a really good spell at Manchester United. Obviously, he hasn't won anything yet, but I think that when you look at the impact that he's made, he has been brilliant. I have been somebody who's been very vocal about, look at how good Bruno is. Imagine playing him with somebody who has the all-round sense of somebody like Edison Cavani. And we saw how at times they bring on the best in each other. He broke Zlatan's record as a goal scorer at PSG. He was phenomenally fared even in Italy. So we are seeing a player as we go higher up the list have success at different levels in different countries. He's obviously been very good for Uruguay as well at times where they make quarterfinals and semifinals of these different international competitions. And it's very much justified why it is he's so high up the list. Tupin, go through, bro.
I think what you said is absolutely correct, that Cavani has had success at every level. I mean, when he started off his career in Italy, he was an up-and-coming player.
Yeah. That was at, it was Udinese, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was Palermo.
You're very right, yeah.
And then when he went to Napoli, he took it up another level.
Yeah.
People were wondering if he would be able to make it in the Champions League. And he did. Then he went to PSG, where everybody thought he'd play second fiddle to Zlatan, but he managed to surpass Zlatan going to PSG. And I mean, at United right now, he still looks like a great striker at this game.
Yeah, and I think that, look, people don't put the respect on his name because, he may not have the necessarily clutch moments to his game. But I think when you look at all around the strikers, he's been brilliant. And look, he's been kind of unfortunate at this stage in his career when it comes to injuries and stuff like that he cannot sustain playing for United week in, week out. But you see, especially over last season, you see the visible difference when he's in the side compared to everybody else. So there's just a different level of quality that he brings. Anything to say about Cavani, Ivan?
Yeah, well, he was definitely on my list. I think one thing we should really talk about him is he brings the best out of other players. We saw it. I think we see it a lot with Luis Suarez for Uruguay.
Definitely agree with that.
I was against Portugal in the last World Cup. Before the last one. Was the last World Cup. Where that beautiful goal where they link up. So those kind of things. I think as well, he's the kind of player, he's just really intelligent with his motion of the ball. We see him run down that ball against Villarreal last week but he keeps the pressure on. He doesn't also like beyond the goal scoring because he has incredible numbers, right?
Yeah.
Beyond the goal scoring, he offers a lot. Whether it be hold up play, whether it's just defending from the front, and I think that's a big factor in why I put him on my list really.
Before I let Matt come in, I just don't want to forget this is that one of my favorite games for United so far was when they demolished Roma.
Yeah.
And yes, you know, Roma sounded the subkeeper and whatever. But like to me, like that was like the best example of how they could like get the most out of Pogba, Bruno, and Cavani though. Like each one played their role where Pogba played the pass, Cavani with the hold up and any movement, and then Bruno with the fire till killer instinct, whether it was a pass or a goal. Or it was so brilliant though. And yeah, anything to say about Cavani?
I mean, the numbers justify alone, but he's more than just figures. He's a good leader up top.
Yeah.
In positions, you know.
And I think that, you know, he was always fitness. And again, we talk about injuries, right? But he is older now. But you still don't feel like if outside the injuries, there's necessarily a drop in quality from the player, you know? All right, we're about to get into like a little sticky section here. We got a little higher up the table. So we get into the next pick in our top 10. All right, guys, and into number 5 now. We have an Argentine wonder kid for so long, and that is Kun Aguero. Look, any Premier League fan knows how incredibly toxic it is to play this man. He has the most goals against the big 6 teams in his time in England. He's had brilliant games even in the UCL as well, and has been a really cornerstone for a lot of the success that Man City have experienced in the 2010s. He was also part of a lot of the Argentina sides and Manchester City finals. Obviously, we cut in this over 2019, so it doesn't include the Copa. But a brilliant striker, though. Like, honestly, though, he was ridiculous. He was ridiculous at Atletico Madrid and became in the Prem and was ridiculous as well. He never scored at Anfield, but he scored at Liverpool a few times. So, what is it like to have to face Kun Aguero, bro?
I already probably the fact that he never scored at Anfield. That's something that just says the level, really. I thought you were gonna open with Tupin and ask about a certain goal in 2014, but. Yeah,
That was a good one.
he's a clutch man. He, again, numbers, that's all I gotta say. But, I mean, you look at his overall play, he's one of the best finishers I've ever seen. Some of the goals he scored, just impossible to kind of understand, really. Any kind of finish, the breakaway just was a nightmare to play against. I mean, I say that like I play against him, but just looking at other defenders and how they deal with him, he's, for me, top 5 of this. I think I had him a little higher than 5th in my list, actually. Maybe about 5th. But yeah, for me, definitely deserves this honor we giving him here. You know, top 5 striker of the decade.
Yeah. And what I really rate about him too is like how he managed to like evolve his game even more when Pep came. And it's like to say he do that like in his youth. He do that like mid prime of his career.
Man, make Pep cry.
That. Yeah, dog. We cannot replace him.
I mean, for anybody who knows me personally, you know how much that particular goal hurts my feelings. But moving on from that, yeah, I believe Aguero is undoubtedly one of the top 5, if not top 3 strikers of the 2010s.
Yeah.
The consistency he had at Manchester City. I mean, when Manchester City was now upcoming as a team in Europe, and then to where they are now, I mean, the amount of Premier League goals Aguero accumulated over that span is kind of amazing.
Where's the all-time top scorers in the Prem? It's like
he is in the top 5.
ridiculous level.
He's in the top 5 after he overtake Henry.
Yeah, I think it's 178.
Yeah.
I think Henry is 176.
Yeah, Henry's 175.
175.
Yeah. He's still not better than Henry though. But we don't need to get into that. Though I actually had a podcast and me and Virgil actually get into that. Though. I ain't going back to that right now. There's like that whole Ozil and David Silva argument all over again. I don't need to have that. Yeah, I think it's the old girl, bro.
I mean, the Argentina.
He have a hat-trick against Barca, I mean, I know he didn't really accumulate anything in the end, but
against Bayern.
It's Bayern? Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, the Argentina bias in his style of play, but without injuries, I feel like he could be even much better.
Yeah, them injuries.
More
really
numbers. So, yeah. Justified top 10.
So to be as like a Prem watch and thing though, where you think you'll put him as like out and out number 9s in history now?
In history in the Prem?
Yeah.
Probably top 5.
Yeah, though, and I think that says a lot though when we see so many great strikers across the Prem though, how good he really is though. And you know when we look back at Man City and we look back at David Silva company, Yaya Toure, he's part of like what is the fabric of that club. I remember the joke about they have no history. Okay, yeah, they don't, right? But in like 10, 15 years when we look back, he's gonna be a league legend though, undoubtedly.
I think he's more fabric of Man City than Yaya Toure.
Yeah, for sure.
Stay longer too. So
Nah, I don't really like them, you know. They never give him a birthday cake, so they never had real beef now, boy. Heading into number 4, guys. Things about to get real sticky. All right, and for number 4, here's where things start to get a little nitty-gritty, though, because everybody had players all over the place, though. We have Don, Kareem, Benzema. Look, everybody knows about Benzema right now. And look, right now, I think he's, at this moment, he's probably one of the top 5 players in the world. He is ridiculous at this moment. I believe he has more goals and assists than any player in Europe right now, dog. He is, dog. He is fantastically good, dog. And I respect what he's done for Real Madrid, given that in a lot of ways he sacrificed his own game to be able for the team to have success and for other players to have success, not just Ronaldo but Bale and whatever, right? And now that we are seeing that the spotlight is on him, it's not like it was a case where they was asking a player who was limited to play a limited role. It's that they were asking a fantastic player to play a role for the team to succeed. And now that they need him to carry the team on his back, he has been doing that for what is now going on for 3 seasons now. He has been brilliant. He has had many key goals. I believe he is in the top 4 all-time UCL goal scorers as well, and has played a clutch part with no penalty goals, with real clutch parts to play across all of the UCL triumphs. Benzema, Matthew, poison your waters a few times.
It's Benzema, you know.
Big baller.
He's now the face of La Liga. I mean, he pretty much always scored against Barca, so you really fear Benzema every time.
Yeah.
The numbers speak for itself too, even though he didn't score much when Ronaldo was there.
Yeah.
But now he on top of the charts, looking like he carrying Madrid to the title.
Comparing numbers to everybody else to win, it is somewhat surprising that somebody with his numbers would finish in the top 5 of this list. So why you think he ended up this high?
I think his success has a lot to do with where he finished on this, because I mean Real won 3 or 4 champions. 4 champions in the last 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And Karim Benzema was always a big part of the Real side. I think one thing with Benzema, though, he always get underrated in the Ronaldo era.
Yeah.
But he actually only had one. He actually only had one season where he had a poor goals.
Yeah, it was real poor though. It was something like
5.
5. Yeah, that was terrible. But yeah, go ahead.
I think just based off of his Instagram, I think he believes he deserves to be number 1 on this because his Instagram is the best ever.
No, dog. And then I look at how he go and play for France in the Euros, and he was brilliantly good, dog. Like, you don't just get players of that caliber, dog. He is extremely good, dog. And if it was, and I mean, we're speaking hypotheticals here, right? But if it was the other way around at that level, was in Real Madrid, and he was the one in Bayern, dog, I think that we could have been seeing him being higher up on the list because he would have had the goal contributions to his name now. You want?
Well, as a player, I respect. I want to play. At a point as well, I think it might have been a season where his output was relatively poor. But I remember I was thinking, boy, Morata might actually end up kicking his man on the team because Morata was scoring a lot of goals, right?
I remember that.
Very wrong about that. Or if Benzema, if you ever see this, sorry. But yeah, I mean, he's a very intelligent player. And
boy.
He sees the game at a different level. I think we saw that when Carriers literally threw the ball at his foot. And no other striker, very few strikers have the kind of anticipation there to, stick out your leg, nab yourself a goal in a Champions League final. But just some of his iconic
okay, bro.
moments. Yeah. We win the next year, it's okay. But some of the iconic moments
Must be
man
nice.
You're looking at his assist versus Atletico.
Yeah, no, I was
that
thinking about that
lives
just
in
now,
my
though.
mind all the time. And the fact that he sacrificed so much of his game, and the thing is, we say so much of his game, but there's other areas he's shown when Ronaldo was getting success, right?
Yeah.
That adaptability, that versatility for me, I think I had him 3rd. I think he could be a top 3 call in this list.
Yeah, definitely so. All right, guys, we're heading into number 3 now. And next on the list, we have somebody that a lot of people love, a lot of people hate, but if it's what they can't deny, is Zlatan. Zlatan has played literally everywhere that he could have played, and he is the king of having success every single place that he goes. He has phenomenal records. He has phenomenal swagger off the pitch and on the pitch. And if it's one man backs himself, it's Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It has no better place to start than, well, actually, both of you already played for, but Matthew, go first now. What is your thoughts on Zlatan Ibrahimovic?
I mean, I'd put him as number 1.
Yeah.
Just
So you're a little sad that he little low down.
Yeah, I want to know who put him so low down. I mean, it can't be the man, right?
I guess we can
Top
see.
5 for me, I believe too. So let me talk.
I mean, Obviously, he probably numbers, goals, and assists. The only thing people would say he never won Champions League, but I mean, that's a big call, but the numbers insane. And the talent, pretty much, he should be up there like all the time. So, I mean, I would put him first.
What it was like to get Zlatan now? Because for those who don't know Turpin now, before he actually reached Man United, though, he was a very big Zlatan fan. And there was a very dotish thing that Turpin used to say back in school that I'm not going to repeat, though. But he was a massive Zlatan fan, and it was real big to see him come to your club, right? What it was like to have him there?
I mean, it was amazing. His personality on and off the field, it's
infectious,
changed the whole
dog.
side. He was such a big influence on that entire side.
Yeah.
Actually, I had him 5th on my list, I believe, 5th or 6th.
Me too.
And it was just because of, I mean, the Farmers League, man. Just because of how long he spent in Liga, I had him a little bit lower. But yeah, amazing player, definitely deserves to be on this list.
Yeah. Do you feel anyhow that he didn't achieve the UCL, Johan?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something he and Ronaldo share, like.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, you know, it's two iconic strikers. I think the word to describe Zlatan to me is iconic.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I mean, even though I'll fed up with his act, you know, like we discussed before, but some of the goals this man scored, aesthetically pleasing, the karate, the kung fu master, you know, like that bicycle against England, like how do you do that kind of thing? And just because, you know, he's a player, I think, again, we talk about his kung fu kicks or whatever, but he was a good dribbler. He was good from the dead ball situation. Obviously, he was good with his head. And that completeness of play, putting up all his numbers, and the longevity, he's nearing 40 years old.
Yeah.
He's playing in the Champions League currently.
I believe he's the first person to score across 3 decades, though. That's actually ridiculous.
That's actually mad. So, yeah, deserves all the respect and the position he's at right now in this list. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're heading into the number 2. So, technically speaking, we're going to end up discussing these two players at the same time because both of them, when we did our voting, both of them came in at the same amount of points. That being said, it is Luis Suarez and Lewandowski, so we're going to be able to discuss both of them at the same time. And I think it's good because when we look back at the 20, there's a lot of ways that both of them have managed to really define strikers over these last 10 years in terms of the model that people look after, as well as they were both like going head to head in arguments of like who was the better one. And I think it says that, look, Zlatan, fantastic player, Benzema, fantastic player, but these two guys have managed to be there, win it all, and put up the records. I mean, I know we talk about Lewandowski a year before he actually won the Champions League, but he reached a Champions League final before that. He has been successful in every single season in the Bundesliga, only being outscored once, but but outside of that has been really, really brilliant. And look, Suarez speaks for himself, has been successful both in La Liga and in England in terms of as a person and a player, and even on a trophy level man, showing trebles at Barcelona as well as multiple league titles. He has been a brilliant player overall, and I think that the reason both of these players got the same amount of votes speaks at how close in talent we are talking about two really, really incredible players here. I know you love Suarez, bro. So go through.
I like Suarez as a player, not as a person. For reasons we would have to discuss.
Correct.
But I remember a lot of my happiness in 2013-14. He was monstrous. And people talk about Salah now, but the kind of levels Suarez was showing, I still think might be clear what Salah showed for us.
Who you think have more hate? Arsenal fans towards Didier Drogba or Norwich fans towards Suarez, though?
Norwich fans for sure.
I know when we played them in the League Cup a couple of weeks ago, we were up 2-0 and you hear the fans going they're singing the Suarez song. I was like, nah, wait, that's really disrespectful. But yeah, I mean, I think the big difference between Suarez and Lewandowski is Suarez overall play. You know, he's a creator. He's a menace. He's a bit he's a dirty player, you know, too. But just his ability to fashion a chance out of nothing for himself, for anybody else. He has the most assists in La Liga for a striker. Yeah. So that's crazy numbers in the goal scoring and assists. That really just sums up how he is as a player.
And if I'm not mistaken, he won the goal scoring award in La Liga. At the same time, Ronaldo and Messi was still there.
Yeah, so again, like, he's a complete striker, he's a complete menace, and Barca will live to regret selling him.
Correct.
And I can't really keep on praising him more as a footballer, as he's just ridiculous, and he'll live long in my memory.
He was very adamant that Lewandowski is going to be a number one, bro. Why is that?
I mean, I think as a striker, Lewandowski is the perfect role
Blueprint.
model. Yeah, he is exactly what you would. If you sit down right now and you dream up a complete striker,
Yeah.
it will be Lewandowski. I mean, Suarez is a great player. Don't get me wrong. What he did in the Premier League was amazing. What he did
Yeah.
at Barca was amazing. I mean, personally, as a United fan, I used to afraid facing Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have more respect for Lewandowski than I do for Suarez.
Do you think part of it is that? you think part of it is like longevity as well? 'Cause there's a feeling like Suarez had points where he dipped a little bit and then came back and dipped a little bit. But with Lewandowski, I feel like if it was their year and like now for a while, and even for the period that we are talking about it, there's a while that there was a question over his ability to perform when it matters. But there still was sure that every year that he's gonna pop goals in the UCL, pop goals in the league. Whereas with Suarez, you know, he went, I think it was like 5 years, 6 years, something like that, without scoring an away goal in Champions League. And for something to linger like that over a player, you know, influence the decision.
I mean, yeah, it did a bit, but I honestly never had any doubts over Lewandowski since his Dortmund days, to be honest.
Like
Since-
one thing to
since
but let's
that
make sure
summer.
though, he's one to make sure sound like if he was there before everybody else.
Since
right,
the semi-final with
Yeah.
Real Madrid,
4 goals, yeah.
I stopped having any questions. about
Yeah, no,
Lewandowski.
Yeah.
that was the announcement there.
Dog, football's so funny, dog. He could have ended up in Blackburn and everybody know that story,
Yeah.
dog.
Icelandic volcano, but imagine.
Alright, split the votes there, Matthew. Was your thoughts on
I
this?
mean, Suarez clear for me.
He's a Barca fan.
Alright, so okay, so we know where you stand on Suarez. Heaps of
I
praise
mean,
on that
to
one.
win the top scorer with Messi and Ronaldo in the same league.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I think like overall in assists, like he just behind Messi.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
mad. That's mad.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Lewandowski was by far the best player 2020.
Yeah, yeah. It's really unfortunate he didn't have a Ballon d'Or that year.
I mean,
He
hopefully,
should win it this year.
Award 2 this year.
Yeah, and apparently he is on some crazy number already for the 2021 year,
Yeah.
calendar year. And I believe he has 3 trophies to his name though, so you never know.
I don't count some of them trophies.
Alright guys, so that is actually the end of the top 10. We're just going to go into some honorable mentions now, and we're going to just let everybody talk about somebody on their list who didn't actually manage to make it. So 2 people didn't make it from your list up, and it was Icardi and Immobile. You had like 15-20 seconds to talk about each one of them though.
Icardi, amazing at Inter, talismanic, and Immobile just guaranteed goals in the Serie A, so I just had to fit them in.
Now both of them was your 9th and 10th. How come you feel they didn't end up making the cut?
I thought they were outside the box picks.
Okay, fair enough, man. I can respect that. Yuan, I'm gonna cut out this part though, because I completely mixed up who this was who. This is your list here, bro. Well done. Right.
Nice.
You managed to have Rooney on your list.
Yeah.
Right now, I think the reason I probably didn't make it on every list, because like he kind of like flirts between if he actually is a striker.
Yeah.
Considering that he play even blasted D and all kind of shit for Man United.
For me, boy, he's the best English player of all time. As a big praise from me as a
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
man. He's a menace. He's just a complete player.
Are you willing to see his play of Gerrard, bro?
So I'm gonna ignore that and just continue. To no, well, you know, again, like Gerrard, everything. Let's start this on
Best
camera.
scouts in history.
But nah, I just think, you know, this man is top scorer for England. Obviously, he could have done a lot more for England, but as a striker as well, like he was just complete everywhere. He had anticipation.
Yeah.
He had the physical ability, the link up play, the finishing, everything. And for me as well, I guess positionally as well, this period we're talking about was kind of different for him because he did start playing deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Both for Derby, I think he ended up playing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Everton or whatever. But you can't fight on the man. Man is a boss. So yeah, he was a
Apparently, Matthew knowledge is top tier because all 10 men from Matthew, let's make it onto the final thing, though. And for me, the one player that I know that I put in somewhat out of outside box pick, I'll get to him just now, but the one that I'm more surprised that didn't actually make everybody list was Kane. Kane record over since he's made his debut for Spurs speaks for itself. But I think that this also comes from where we talk about players, the value of their goals. And the truth is, like, you know, Kane hasn't accomplished anything in his career, but I mean, it's kind of understandable given that he's playing for a bottom tier club. And that he has had the chance to move this year. He probably should have moved. He want to actually get some trophies. But look, as an individual, yeah. Oh my
Shearer
God.
2.0.
Yeah,
I
Greg
can-
Shearer, at Newcastle.
Dog,
scenes.
I could actually see, talk about like Newcastle, this on this takeover thing now, we can just cut out that. Newcastle, this takeover thing now, they gonna be the only people that gonna be willing to pay Levy the money he actually won down for him. But I guess it's understandable that he didn't make it in the end. And truth is, dog, look, at the end of the day, this is a period of where we saw like brilliant strikers, dog. Players like Van Persie, I think they even make this list, though. And the one who I really want to talk about is Edin Dzeko. Look, I'm a big fan of Edin Dzeko, have been for a very long time. I think that even prior to 2010, he has been an extremely consistent striker wherever he go, whether it was Brenner, whether it was Man City, whether it was Roma. Now at Inter Milan, he's already, I think he's their second highest scorer, if not their outright top scorer in the league as they try to retain their title. I think he has been so underrated, especially in the time in England because he played with Aguero. But he did a lot of the work to help Aguero be who he was. And I think that his record speaks for himself. He is in the top 12 goal scorers of the 2010 period, if I'm not mistaken. And he is also someone that has, like Aubameyang, that kind of faced somewhat of the consequences of the clubs that he chooses to go to, that he doesn't have as much silverware as he wanted. But he is obviously attained at Werder Bremen. He's also attained at Man City as well. And, you never know what we might see at Inter Milan. So, yeah. That's it, guys. Thank you all so much for coming on. We did a lot better time. We try to keep our time in check this week. And yeah, that's where we're going out on Monday. I do not think that we're going to have a pod this week. But we have other content coming up for you guys as we get ready for club football to return. Catch you guys next time. See you soon. Take it easy. Later.